The noose bit into my neck like a lover's betrayal. Tight and unrelenting. The rope's fibers scraping my skin raw as the chair kicked out from under me. I remember the drop, that split-second freefall where gravity whispered promises of peace, before the snap. The world exploding in white-hot agony. My vision tunneling to black as Mia's laughter echoed in my skull. Her voice a venomous chant. Jump.
Zoe.
No one's gonna miss the family screw-up. And then, nothing. Or so I thought. But nothing cracked open like a bad dream when my eyes fluttered against the harsh fluorescence of my high school chem lab, the Bunsen burner hissing faintly under my trembling hands. And there it was, my reflection in the lab table's polished steel, 17-year-old Zoe Harper. Acne-scarred cheeks flushed from the summer heat, not the bloated, broken corpse swinging from the attic beam in our McMansion attic. My heart slammed against my ribs like it was trying to escape this recycled body. Because I fucking knew, I'd clawed my way back from the grave. Reborn. Rewound. And this time, Mia and our golden child parents weren't getting away with stealing my future and shoving me into the ground. It was September 2018, 2 years before the shit hit the fan in my first life. Trump was still president. TikTok was blowing up with dance challenges nobody over 30 understood. And I was elbow-deep in AP chemistry, dreaming of Stanford's computer science program while scraping by on a part-time gig at the local Starbucks. Back then, I was the invisible Harper kid, the one who fixed the family router when Dad's fantasy football league crashed, who tutored Mia through her algebra homework even though she called me Nerdzilla behind my back. Mom and Dad, they doted on Mia like she was the second coming. Her cheerleading trophies lining the mantel while my robotics club awards gathered dust in the garage. Mia's got that spark, Dad would say, clapping her on the back after every game, while I got a pat on the head and a keep grinding. Kiddo. It stung, but I swallowed it. Family, right? Blood's thicker than spite. That afternoon, as the bell rang and kids spilled into the halls smelling of Axe body spray and desperation, I bolted to my beat-up Honda Civic, the one I'd bought with my own savings after Mom forgot to co-sign for a loan on something nicer. My hands shook on the wheel as I peeled out of the parking lot, the radio blasting some Ariana Grande track that now felt like a sick joke. Dead at 19. Hanged in the attic after discovering they drained my college fund for Mia's once-in-a-lifetime European backpacking trip. I'd confronted them, screaming in the kitchen while Mom sobbed crocodile tears and Dad blustered about tough love. And Mia? She just smirked from the doorway, scrolling Instagram like my world crumbling was primetime entertainment. That night, alone with the eviction notice from my shitty off-campus apartment and the echo of their lies, I'd climbed the pull-down stairs, looped the extension cord around the beam, and stepped off. Easy exit. Or so they thought.
But now
I was back, pulse racing with a venom I'd never known in my first go-round. The drive home blurred through the subdivisions of Elmwood Heights, Ohio, cookie-cutter colonials with American flags flapping lazily in the breeze. Minivans in every driveway. The kind of place where everyone knows your business but pretends they don't. Our house loomed at the end of Maple Lane, a 2-story beige beast with a wraparound porch Dad had half-finished 5 years ago, symbolizing all his big plans that never quite panned out. I parked crookedly, slamming the door hard enough to rattle the windows, and stormed inside without knocking. The kitchen smelled like Mom's signature meatloaf baking, all comfort and denial. She was at the island, chopping carrots with that rhythmic thwack-thwack, her blonde bob swinging like a metronome. "Zoe Bear, you're home early. How was lab?" Her smile was all teeth. The one she'd flash at PDA meetings to hide the Valium haze in her eyes. Fine, I muttered, dropping my backpack with a thud that made her knife pause. Dad was in the living room, feet up on the coffee table, yelling at the Browns game on TV, another losing season. Another excuse to crack open a sixth beer. And Mia? She sauntered in from the stairs, ponytail bouncing, in her Elmwood Eagles cheer uniform, fresh from practice. 16. Radiant. The apple of every eye but mine. Hey, loser, she said, snagging an apple from the bowl and taking a crisp bite. You look like you saw a ghost.
What?
Did Mr. Patel finally fail your ass? I stared at her. The words from my deathbed, her words, bubbling up like acid. Jump.
Zoe.
But I swallowed it down, forcing a grin that felt like razor wire. Nah. Just thinking about that college fund Grandma set up. You know, the one for me? Stanford's tuition ain't cheap. Mom's knife slipped, nicking her thumb. She sucked on it, eyes darting to Dad, who muted the TV a beat too late. Mia rolled her eyes.
God. Zoe.
Always with the money talk. Like anyone's gonna let you blow it on some nerd school when you could just go to community college like a normal person. Dad chuckled from the couch. That forced rumble he used to smooth edges. Ease up, girls. Zoe's got big dreams. We'll figure it out. But I saw it, the flicker in his eyes, the way Mom's shoulders tensed. In my first life, that fund was my lifeline, $50,000 from Grandma Harper's estate, earmarked for my education after she passed in 15. She'd whispered it to me on her deathbed, her frail hand in mine. For you, Zoe girl. Don't let them dim your light. They'd waited until I was neck-deep in freshman year at Ohio State, a safety school after Stanford's waitlist ghosted me, to siphon it off. Emergencies, Mom called it. Mia's emergencies. Plural, designer bags. A new SUV for her sweet 16. That gap year in Paris because cheer scholarships don't grow on trees. When I found the statements in Dad's desk, forged signatures in my name, dates back to my senior year, it shattered me. They'd been plotting it all along, right under my nose.
Now.
Reborn and raging, I decided to poke the bear. Figured out how. Dad? By dipping into my fund again? Or is that just for Mia's spark? The room went still, the oven timer beeping like a bomb. Mom laughed, brittle as autumn leaves. What on earth are you talking about? Honey, I leaned against the counter, crossing my arms to hide the tremor. Nothing. Just a hunch. Grandma always said blood tells. Right? That night, I lay in my twin bed under the slanted ceiling, posters of Ada Lovelace and Elon Musk staring down like judgmental ghosts. Sleep wouldn't come. Instead, flashes. The bank app notification in my first life. Balance at 0. The screaming match in this very kitchen. Dad's red face. You think you're entitled? Mia's the one with potential.
Mia se whisper later.
Cornering me in the hall. Do us a favor.
Zoe.
End it. No one wants your drama. And the rope. Course and final. By dawn, resolve hardened in my gut like steel. Revenge wasn't a word I'd known at 17. Too dramatic. Too TV movie. But death had schooled me. Step 1. Secure the fund. I'd need proof. Leverage. Grandma's old lawyer in Cleveland, Mr. Ellis, had handled the trust. I'd call him tomorrow. Play the concerned granddaughter. Step 2. Document everything. I'd started a burner email in the school library that afternoon, timestamping every interaction.
And Mia?
I'd mirror her cruelty, but smarter, gaslight her sparkle until it sputtered out. School dragged the next day, a haze of equations and whispers about homecoming drama. At lunch, I sat alone with my laptop, hacking into the family iCloud, easy, since Dad never changed the password from Go Browns 1. Buried in shared folders, spreadsheets. Dad's meticulous logs of household expenses. There it was.
Kodet ZH.
Allocation. Transferred to MH. Extracurriculars. Dates from last spring. They'd started early, siphoning $5,000 here, $10,000 there, before I even applied to colleges. My blood boiled, but I screenshotted it all, heart pounding as the bell rang. After school, I drove to Shaker Square, the upscale strip where Grandma used to take me for gelato. Her condo was dark, sold off after she died, but memories flooded, her stories of bootstrapping through the Depression, marrying Grandpa Young, building a life in Cleveland's steel mills. Harper women fight dirty when we have to, she'd say, winking over her espresso. If only she'd known what her son, my dad, would do. I needed an ally. Grandma was gone, but her spirit, it'd be my weapon. Back home, dinner was a minefield. Mia chattered about tryouts, Mom nodding like a bobblehead, Dad grunting approvals. I waited until plates cleared, then dropped the bomb casual as pie. Hey,
Dad.
remember that trust from Grandma? I was thinking of checking the balance. Stanford's app is due soon. He choked on his water, coughing into his napkin. Mom shot me a look, sharp. Warning.
Zoe.
That's not how it works. Your father handles the finances. Mia snorted. Yeah, because you're too busy building robots or whatever. Let the adults deal with it. I met her eyes, holding that blue-eyed glare she'd weaponized since we were kids. Adults? Like the ones who think forging my name on bank forms is handling it. Silence crashed like a dropped tray. Dad's fork clattered. Watch your tone, young lady. But I was done watching. Or what? Ground me for my own money. I stood, chair scraping linoleum. I'm calling Mr. Ellis tomorrow. And if there's 1 cent missing, I let it hang, storming upstairs to the slam of my door. In the mirror, my reflection smirked, not the broken girl from before, but a predator in her skin. This was war. And in America, wars were won with lawyers, leaks, and a little viral outrage. The next week blurred into reconnaissance. Mr. Ellis confirmed it over a hushed phone call from the library. The fund was intact. $52,347.23 as of last statement. But he warned, voice gravelly, your grandmother was wise.
Zoe.
She named you sole beneficiary. But your parents have power of attorney until you're 18. Tread carefully. Carefully? Fuck that. I emailed him the screenshots. Blind copied a notary contact from online. Plan B. Expose them slow. Let paranoia fester. Mia sensed the shift. At breakfast, she cornered me by the fridge. What's your deal?
Zoe?
You're being a total bitch lately. I poured cereal, milk splashing like spite. Just protecting what's mine.
Sis.
You wouldn't get it. Always getting handouts. Her slap came fast, stinging my cheek. Jealous much? Mom and Dad love me because I'm likable. You're just You. I touched my face, tasting copper. In my first life.
Y de cría.
Now, I laughed. Low and ugly.
Keep telling yourself that.
But likable doesn't pay for college. She stormed out, tires squealing down the drive to school. Victory won. Crack the facade. But as I drove behind her, mind racing to the next move, maybe tip off the school counselor about family stress, a chill hit. What if they accelerated? What if this timeline forked wrong? And I ended up dead sooner?
No.
I'd rewrite the script. Starting with Grandma's hidden safety deposit box. She'd mentioned it once. Key tucked in her Bible. If there was evidence, letters, recordings, it'd bury them. That Saturday, I faked a mall trip, detouring to the bank in downtown Cleveland. The vault smelled of old money and secrets. The box heavy in my hands. Inside, yellowed envelopes. A flash drive labeled for Zoe, truth. Heart hammering. I pocketed it, signing out with a forged calm. Back in the Civic, parked in an alley off Euclid, I plugged it into my laptop. Grandma's voice crackled to life. Tinny but fierce. If you're hearing this, Zoe girl, it's because Richard and Ellen are circling like vultures. I saw the signs, the way they fawn over Mia, the envy in their eyes when you shine. This is my will. Notarized twice. The fund's yours. Ironclad. And if they touch it, expose them. Harpers don't forgive thieves. Tears blurred the screen. But they were fuel, not weakness. She knew. And she'd armed me from beyond. The file ended with bank records, Dad's embezzlement from her estate, small dips he'd covered with lies. $20,000 gone already. Funneled to Mia's trust that was really just a slush fund for their failures, Dad's failed real estate flips, Mom's MLM pyramid schemes. I drove home in a fury haze, the flash drive burning in my pocket. Dinner was tense, Mia sulked. Parents tiptoed. As I cleared plates, I accidentally dropped a fork near Dad's briefcase. While retrieving it, I snapped a photo of his phone screen, opened to a text thread with Mom, Zoe sniffing around. Move the last transfer tonight? Mia needs the deposit for Paris. Bingo. The snake pit was writhing. That night, I drafted an anonymous email to the Elmwood Gazette. Local family drains daughter's inheritance for favored child's luxuries. Attachments, redacted screenshots. But I held off send. Timing was everything. Let them sweat first. By month's end, cracks spiderwebbed. Mia's grades tanked. I helped by feeding her wrong formulas in study sessions. Dad's temper flared. He rear-ended someone on I-71, blaming distractions at home. Mom popped more pills. Her smile's brittle. And me? I aced a programming contest. Stanford Scouts emailing already. Karma's a bitch.
But revenge?
She's a goddamn artist. October crept in with crisp leaves and homecoming hype. Elmwood high buzzing like a hive on steroids. Banners strung across the quad screamed, Eagles soar high, while kids in Letterman jackets dry-humped against lockers. I navigated it all with a predator's grace. My old invisibility shed like snakeskin. Whispers followed me now, Zoe Harper. She's killing it in robotics. Mia hated it. Her cheer circle shrinking as rumors swirled. Heard her sister's fund got jacked by their folks. I'd planted those seeds carefully. Casual drops in the girls' bathroom. The cafeteria line. Deniability was key in suburbia. Everyone loved a scandal. But no one wanted fingerprints. The real heat built at home. Dad started locking his office door, briefcase chained to his desk like Fort Knox. Mom hovered, offering awkward hugs that reeked of Chanel No. 5 and desperation. We're so proud of you.
Zoe.
Really.
Lies.
All of it. But I played along, baking her favorite lemon bars, laced with just enough salt to pucker her lips into a perpetual frown. Small cruelties, the kind that accumulate like interest on a bad loan. Mia's breaking point came mid-month, after tryouts. She burst through the front door, pom-poms flying, face streaked with mascara rivers. I didn't make varsity. Coach said my tumbling's off, like it's my fault the math's uneven. She hurled her bag at the wall, pom-poms exploding like confetti grenades. Mom rushed from the laundry room, arms out.
Oh.
Sweetie, it's okay. There's always next year. Dad looked up from his laptop, brow furrowed. What happened? You were a lock. Mia whirled on me, where I sat at the kitchen table, ostensibly doing homework, but really scrolling Zillow for apartments in Palo Alto. It's her. Zoe's been talking shit to her geek friends, and they told Coach I'm unreliable or whatever. I blinked, feigning shock. Me?
Mia.
I've been cheering you on. Literally, at every practice I could sneak to. Liar. She lunged, nails raking my arm before Mom pulled her back. Dad slammed his laptop shut, veins bulging in his neck. Enough.
Zoe.
Apologize. The word hung. Absurd. Apologize? For what? Surviving their theft in my first life? For the rope burns that still ghosted my neck in nightmares? I stood slow, chair scraping like nails on chalkboard. Apologize for what? Dad? For not wanting to fund Mia's pity party while my dreams rot. His face purpled. You ungrateful little. That money's for the family. Mia's got opportunities you couldn't touch. There it was. The truth uncoiling like smoke. Opportunities. Code for their vicarious glory. Mia at Yale on a legacy they bought, while I scraped scholarships and side hustles. In my past life, I'd begged for scraps after the drain, $2,000 left for senior year, forcing me to drop out, spiral into dead-end jobs. The bottle, the noose. Family, I spat, voice steady as rebar. Family doesn't forge signatures. Doesn't lie to a dead woman's trust. Mom gasped, hand to her throat like a soap opera queen. How dare you accuse? I have proof. I pulled out my phone, thumb hovering over the flash drive files. Not sending yet, no. This was theater. Grandma's recordings. Your texts. The transfers. All time-stamped. Dad lunged for the phone. But I danced back, heart thundering. Mia whimpered from the floor, suddenly small.
Zoe. Please.
I didn't know. Bullshit.
She'd known.
In the attic shadow, her texts post-death. Finally. Peace and quiet. Deleted. But screenshots eternal. Bedroom. Now, Dad growled, pointing upstairs. Mom herded Mia away, cooing nonsense. I followed, the stairs creaking under our collective sins. In the hallway, door shut. He loomed, 6'2" of bluster and Bud Light gut. You think you can blackmail us? That fun's as good as gone. Mia leaves for Paris in June. End of story. I met his glare, unflinching. Paris? On my money?
Try it.
I'll go public.
Gazette.
Reddit. Every Karen in Elmwood's Facebook group. Local dad steals from dead mom's grandkid for cheerleaders gap year. Hashtag family values. His fist clenched, knuckles white. For a heartbeat, I saw it, the swing, the bruise I'd hidden with hoodies in my first life. But he deflated, shoulders slumping.
Zoe.
We were gonna pay it back. Business tanked. Mia's our shot at. Saving face. I finished. Ice in my veins. Grandma saw you coming. The trust locks at 18. Touch it, and it's fraud. Felony time. He sank onto my bed, head in hands. What do you want? Paris is cancelled. The funds audited weekly from now on by me. And Mia apologizes. Publicly. He looked up, eyes red-rimmed. You're destroying us. Good, I whispered. Feels like payback. Downstairs. The truce held fragile as glass. Mia mumbled sorry at breakfast the next day, eyes downcast over her avocado toast. Mom force-fed us normalcy, family game night with Monopoly, where I bankrupted them all by turn 3. Symbolic? Hell yes. But revenge isn't a straight shot, it's a boomerang, curving back with barbs. That weekend, I drove to Cleveland again, meeting Mr. Ellis at a diner off I-90. Greasy spoons and pot-bellied truckers set the scene. Coffee black as my mood. Miss Harper, he said, sliding into the booth. Tie loosened. Your email was concerning. I've frozen the account pending review. But this stays between us until charges. Charges. The word thrilled. Sharp as a switchblade. If they transferred without consent, yes. Embezzlement.
Forgery.
Your father's signature's sloppy. Forensics will nail it. I sipped coffee, burning my tongue. And Mia? Kids complicit if she knew. But minors. Leniency. He paused, eyeing me. You sure about this path? Family's fracture. Fracture? Mine was pulverized. They fractured me first. Back home. The fracture showed. Mia skipped school Monday. Sick with stress eating. Mom called from work, her real estate gig. Ironically, begging me to be kind. Kindness died with me in the attic. Instead, I texted Mia's squad anonymously. Ask Mia why her Paris funds really Zoe's stolen cash. Sibling rivalry. By lunch, the group chat exploded. Mia cornered me after chem. Tears streaming in the empty hall. You bitch. They hate me now. Vanessa unfollowed. I leaned against a locker.
Cool as cucumber.
Welcome to my world.
Sis.
2 years ago. You whispered jump in my ear. Remember? Her face blanched.
What?
I never. You did. In this life, or the last. Same poison. I pushed off, leaving her sobbing. Controversial? Leaking to her friends felt like justice. But the glee twisting my gut?
Dark.
American as apple pie with arsenic. Dad's countermove came sly. A family meeting that night. Pastor Jenkins from First Methodist in tow. Evangelical guilt. Ohio style. Bible verses projected on the TV. Mom dabbing tears. Zoe, Jenkins boomed, beard quivering. The Lord forgives. Harboring grudges poisons the soul. I crossed my arms, perched on the armchair like a throne. Funny.
Pastor.
The Bible also says, thou shalt not steal. Exodus 20 verse 15. Or, did my parents skip that Sunday school lesson? Jenkins faltered. Dad glowering. Mia fidgeted, picking at cuticles. Mom launched into sob story. Dad's layoffs. Her depression. Mia's pressure to succeed. We made mistakes. Honey. But we're your family. The word clanged hollow. Family doesn't hang you out to dry. I stood, voice rising. You stole my shot, Stanford. A career. A life. I died because of it. Silence. Thick as fog. Jenkins cleared his throat. Died? Child. That's dramatic.
Metaphorical. I lied. Pulse spiking.
No spilling the rebirth beans. They'd lock me in psych ward faster than you could say lithium. Dad seized the opening.
See?
She's unhinged. We need counseling, not accusations. I laughed.
Bitter.
Counseling? Try cops. I've got the files copied to the cloud. One click. And it's DA's desk. Jenkins prayed then, hands clasped, invoking proverbs on mercy. I walked out mid-amen, rain slicking the driveway as I gunned the Civic to Grandma's old cemetery. Her stone gleamed wet under sodium lights. Eleanor Harper, beloved mother, fierce heart. I traced the letters, whispering, they're crumbling.
Gran.
For you. But cracks in my armor showed too. Nightmares bled into days, rope shadows in mirrors. Mia's laugh as sirens. Was revenge healing the wound or ripping it wider? At school, a guidance counselor pulled me aside. Zoe, rumors about home. You okay? I flashed my best prom smile. Peachy. Just teen drama. Lies layered like varnish. But the plan accelerated. I applied early to Stanford. Essays laced with overcoming adversity. Code for this hell. Acceptance pinged November 1st. Confetti emojis from Palo Alto. I framed the email on my desk. A beacon. Dad saw it that night, crumpling like paper.
How?
Without the fund. Scholarships, I said.
Smug.
And a loan in my name. Legit ones. He stormed out, tires screeching to the bar. Mom wept in the kitchen. Mia eavesdropping from the stairs. Victory tasted sweet, but hollow, like winning a war where the enemy's your blood. Thanksgiving loomed. Turkey and tension. We drove to Aunt Lydia's in Akron. The minivan silent save for classic rock static. Mia sulked with AirPods. Mom popped Xanax like Tic-Tacs. Dad white-knuckled the wheel. Lydia's spread was Norman Rockwell. Pumpkin pie. Football on TV. Cousins chasing in the yard. But undercurrents swirled. Whispers when I entered. Eyes on Mia like she was the victim. Aunt Lydia cornered me by the deviled eggs. Heard trouble at home.
Zoe.
Your dad's been calling. Spinning tales. I speared an olive. Skewering secrets. Tales like stealing my college fund? For Mia's adventures? Her eyes widened, then narrowed. That true. Bank statements don't lie. I showed her the phone pics. Her gasp fuel.
By pie.
The table erupted. Uncle Ray boomed. Richard, you son of a bitch, robbing your own kid. Dad denied. Red-faced, Mom defended.
Shrill.
Mia fled to the porch.
Sobbing.
Lydia pulled me aside later. Stay with us anytime. And call this number, family lawyer in Canton. Allies multiplied. Back home. The house felt like a pressure cooker. Lids rattling. Dad slept on the couch. Mom in pills. Mia confronted me Christmas Eve. Tinsel glittering like ironic halos. You win. Okay? I hate you.
But.
Sorry for everything. Her eyes, blue mirrors of mine, held something new, fear. Real.
Raw.
I softened a fraction, the old sister flickering. Prove it. Help me audit the fund. Testify, if it comes to that. She nodded.
Tear-streaked. Deal.
Truce or trap? In my first life. Her sorry came too late. Post-rope. Trust was a gamble, but gambles built empires or graves. December thawed into strategy. With Mia's hesitant help, logging into Dad's email, forwarding in criminals, the dossier swelled. I sent it to Mr. Ellis, who looped in the DA anonymously. Investigation pending, he texted. Stay low.
Low? Impossible.
Stanford deferred my enrollment. Financials pending, but I prepped escape. Job hunting in Cali. Sublet listings. Freedom beckoned. But the climax brewed. New Year's Eve. Party at Mia's friend Brittany's, keg stands and bad decisions. I went. Sober sentinel. Mia got wasted. Spilling to Brittany. Dad took Zoe's money. We're screwed. Phones out.
Videos rolling.
By morning, clips hit Snapchat. Harper heist trending locally. Dad's fury exploded at brunch. Mimosas untouched. You leaked it? To her friends?
Mia blanched.
I was drunk, Zoe said. I shrugged. Buttering toast. Karma's viral now. Dad. Welcome to 2019. He lunged, but Mom intervened, shrieking. Cops called, not for assault, but domestic disturbance. Cruisers lit the cul-de-sac. Neighbors peeking through blinds. America's favorite pastime, watching good families implode. Questioned separately. I played innocent. Just family stress. Officer. Dad blustered.
Mia babbled.
No arrests yet, but the DA's net tightened. In the fallout, Grandma's twist hit. Ellis called. Your grandmother left a codicil. If fraud proven, the estate sues and wins. Funds tripled for you. Penalty clause. Jackpot. But as sirens faded, doubt gnawed. Was I avenger or monster?
Mia é será de make-up.
Dad's hollow eyes, mirrors of my pain. Controversial choices. Leak more? Push charges? Or mercy? American style. Forgiveness for photo ops?
No.
The rope whispered. Finish it. January 2019 dawned brutal. Ohio winds howling like banshees through Elmwood's bare oaks. Snow-blanketed Maple Lane. Muffling the world's noise but amplifying the one in our house. Slammed doors. Muffled curses. The fridge humming like a guilty conscience. The Harper heist vid had gone semi-viral. Racking 50K views on a shady suburb subreddit. Comments a cesspool. Classic boomer fail. Robbed the smart kid for the thought. Bet the sisters basic AF. Mia barricaded in her room.
Posting sad selfies with Lana Del Rey lyrics.
Mom chain-smoked on the porch. Exhaling dragons of regret.
Dad?
Vanished to business trips, but I tracked his Amex, seedy motels in Toledo. Strip clubs with executive suites. I thrived in the chaos. A phoenix in flannel. School blurred. Valedictorian trajectory locked. Stanford re-accepting once funds cleared. But revenge's high faded to itch, scratching deeper wrist infection. Mia's health soured too, her emails to Dad now laced with pleas. Don't let Zoe ruin us. Traitor blood ran true. The DA's hammer dropped mid-month. Subpoenas arrived certified mail. Slapping down like gauntlets, Richard and Ellen Harper. To appear for questioning on embezzlement and forgery. I intercepted the stack from the mailbox, photocopying before sliding them under Dad's office door. His roar echoed. "Zoe, you did this." I leaned in the frame, arms crossed. "Me?
Nah.
That's the sound of consequences."
Dad.
Grandma's ghost called the cops. Mom burst in, wild-eyed. "Please, baby.
Drop it.
We'll pay double, triple. Mia's college, too." Mia hovered behind, pale as milk. "Yeah,
Zoe.
we're sisters."
Sisters.
The word curdled. Sisters don't push each other off ledges. Metaphorically, I turned, leaving them to stew. Court prep consumed February. Ellis coached me via Zoom, tailored suits.
No nonsense vibe.
Testify calm. Factual. Let documents damn them. I practiced in the mirror. They forged my signature on March 15th, 2018. Transferring $8,200 to Mia's account for educational expenses, a Birkin bag. Per receipt. Controversial pivot. I leaked to the Gazette. Full spread. Headline screamed, "Elmwood parents accused of stealing daughter's $50,000 inheritance." Photos are family portrait. Mia's cheer pose juxtaposed with bank slips. Neighbors shunned. Grocery runs turned interrogations. PDA moms averting eyes. Mom's realty listings tanked. Dad's clients ghosted. Guilt gnawed at edges. Late nights. I'd scroll old pics. Mia and me at Cedar Point. Cotton candy grins. Pre-betrayal bliss. Was I torching innocence? No, Mia knew. Spent lavishly. But the fracture? It spidered to me. Sleep fractured by what-ifs. What if rebirth was curse, not gift, dooming them to my hell? Climax brewed in March. Preliminary hearing at Cuyahoga County Courthouse, marble halls echoing footsteps like judgments. I arrived early, heels clicking, black dress severe as a shroud. Family filed in separate. Mom tear-streaked. Dad cuffed for transport, flight risk. Post-motel bender. Mia with Lydia, eyes down. Jenkins lurked in back. Bible clutched like a shield. Judge Harlan, a noble silver fox, banged gavel. State versus Harper. Embezzlement. Forgery. Breach of trust. Prosecutor laid it out. Timelines. Transfers. Grandma's audio crackling through speakers. Richards always envied the steady ones. Protect Zoe. Gasps rippled. Dad's head bowed. Defense. Slick Akron firm Dad scraped for spun sympathy. Desperate times. Family pressures. No intent to harm.
Mia testified.
Voice quaver. I didn't know it was Zoe's. They said it was shared.
Lies.
I'd seen her Venmo requests. Dad. Need $500 for Ubers in Paris planning. But I held fire. Waiting. My turn. On stand. Lights hot. I locked eyes with each. Mom's plea. Dad's hate. Mia's fear. Your Honor. This wasn't desperation. It was deliberate. They chose Mia over me every time. The fund was Grandma's dying wish. My ticket out. They hanged it. Metaphor landed heavy. Murmurs swelled. Cross-exam. Isn't this sibling rivalry? Miss Harper? Jealousy. I leaned forward.
Mick crackling.
Jealousy? Of a thief?
No.
This is justice for the girl they broke, who almost broke herself. Gavel banged recess. Hallway melee. Reporters swarming. Flashes blinding. Lydia hugged me fierce. Proud of you.
Kid.
Eleanor's smiling. but twists slithered in. Post-hearing, Mia cornered me in the bathroom, marble echoing drips.
Zoe.
Stop.
I
recorded you. That night you said jump. Wait. No. I said it? What the fuck? Time froze. My slip, the attic echo out. Her eyes widened. Not fear, but calculation. You're crazy. But if you push this, I tell them everything. The death talk? They'll 5150 you, psych hold. Blackmail. From the favored.
My heart iced.
You wouldn't. Try me. She smirked. That old venom. Sisters? Right? Betrayal redux. I shoved past. Nausea churning.
Outside.
Rain lashed biblical.
Fitting.
Drive home blurred. Wipers slashing tears. Rebirth's gift, foresight.
But Mia's?
She'd learned my playbook. Twisted it. Home empty. Parents detained overnight. Mia at Lydia's. I raided Dad's office. Files. Ledgers. A hidden drawer. Jackpot. Ledger detailing all thefts, not just mine. But Grandma's estate skimmed for years. IRA dips. Life insurance falsified. And a note. Scrawled. For Mia's future. Zoe'll never know. Rage purified. I uploaded everything to a public Dropbox. Linking in an anon tweet. At Elmwood Gazette full Harper Ledger. Years of lies. Justice for Zoe. Viral ignition. By dawn, news trucks clogged the lane. Dad charged felony. Mom misdemeanor accomplice.
Mia?
Subpoenaed as witness. Her innocence shredded by Venmos. Twist crested that afternoon. Cops at door, not for me, but welfare check on Mia. She'd swallowed half a bottle of Mom's Xanax. Note, can't live with the guilt. Zoe's right, we're monsters. Coma. ICU. Guilt crashed. Title. I raced to MetroHealth. Machines beeping her fragile pulse. Mom. Released on bail. Wailed in waiting room. Dad. Via phone from lockup. Begged. Save her.
Zoe.
Please. In the room. Tubes snaking. Mia stirred, eyes fluttering mine.
S.
Sorry, she rasped. The recording. Bluff. I knew. All along.
Truth. Raw.
I gripped her hand. First touch in years without claws.
Me too.
For the leaks. The hate. She squeezed weak. Don't let them win. Go to Stanford. Shine. I nodded. Tears hot. We both will. Charges stuck, Dad 5 years. Fraud. Mom probation. Restitution. The trust?
Triple via codicil.
$150,000 wired direct. Stanford full ride.
Plus.
I left Elmwood June. Civic packed. Mia waving frail from porch, rehab bound, but fighting. Revenge's end? Not triumph, but catharsis. Controversial. I'd pushed her edge. Mirrored their cruelty. But in America's grind, where family ties bind like barbed wire, breaking free meant scars. Happy? No tidy bows. But alive. Unbowed. Grandma's voice echoed. Fight dirty? Zoe girl. Then rise clean. California sun baked the highway. Rear view shrinking Ohio ghosts. Reborn. Revenged. Ready. The rope? Just a memory. This life? Mine to code.